What is going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? My name is JeffLightsyJr. This is the Victory Formation Sports Show right here on JeffLightsYjr. YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts. We got a special guest today, Jackson State linebacker, edge rusher, just defensive specialist, Mr. Phillip Webb. Phillip, how's it going, man?
Man, it's going good. It's going good. Happy to be here.
Hey, we're glad to have you, man, and congratulations on choosing the JSU Tigers, coming over from LSU, man. Before we get into like your background and everything, just what was the deciding factor for you choosing JSU when you entered the transfer portal? I'm sure you had other options. What made you want to choose Jackson State?
Well, really, it was just the family feel. My family members and friends, they just told me make sure I'm happy off the field, first thing. And I felt like Jackson State was going to be the best place for me to be happy off the field.
And that's awesome. That's awesome to hear, man. And I'll tell you this. The JSU fans, they love their players no matter who they are, right? But I'll tell you this. Because when you committed, I did a video about it. And I just remember your tweet. It just felt powerful, man. It felt like more than just a football commitment. It was like for the people that laid the foundation, some along lines. I don't want to screw it up, but it was like something about like the people that laid the foundation before me. I'm going to Jackson State, and I was like, whoa, it's not just a regular commitment. What was behind those words, man? It was kind of pretty dope the way you laid that out like that.
I just understand the history behind HBCU football. It's not really talked about that much, so. I just know I got big shoes to fill in that.
Man, I'm telling you, you want to make some folks happy, put a tweet like that out, man, because that was it. I was like, yo, what? This dude sounds like James Baldwin or something. You know what I mean? Like just real intellectual. The way you put that together, just when people think football, you don't think like when I'm committing somewhere, I'm really, standing on the shoulders of the people that came before me. And you kind of laid that out just in a few words. And it was really cool, man. So, props to you on that. And so before you got to Jackson State, you had to get introduced to football. So who was the person, people, group, or whatever that kind of introduced you to the game? And when did you find out you kind of like this sport?
I've been playing this game since like the age of 6. So my mom really just signed me up, put me in, make sure I was in sports after school. So
that's pretty cool, man. So mom kind of signed you up for sports. And so you're someone that, you play Division I football, so it means you're pretty good. So you signed up at the age of 6. When did you realize you were actually pretty good at ball and that you could play this, like, kind of take it somewhere?
I guess since that age, back then.
So from 6, it's like, yeah, the first time I got on the field, I was pretty good.
Back then, I was really like playing running back and stuff growing up, just, scoring multiple touchdowns a game.
So it's just that easy now. I was like, yeah, man, I was out there killing these dudes. It just, I was just that dude, man. That's pretty cool now. That's actually that's a pretty funny story. So let's fast forward, man, to high school. What was your high school experience like? From freshman year to senior year, was there any trials and tribulations? Did you have a lot of fun? Did you win state championships? What was your kind of high school football experience like?
I enjoyed my high school football experience. We were a new up and coming program in the county, so we feel like we wanted to make a name for ourselves. And we didn't win any championships, but we ended up making it to the Final Four my junior year, which that was a really fun experience and probably one of the most fun experiences of football.
And what high school was this again? This was in Georgia, correct?
High school, yes, sir. Lanier High School in Beaufort, Georgia.
Lanier High School, man. So, like, you obviously went to some SEC school previously. Who were some of the guys that were you able to play with some pretty good guys or play against some pretty good guys? And if so, who was that?
Probably the highest rated recruit that was on my team was a quarterback, Zach Calzada. So,
okay,
yeah,
that's what's up, man.
Yeah,
that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So let's talk about we're talking about recruiting and high and rankings and stuff. And we know by the time you were finished with high school, you're one of the top prospects in the country. Just talk. When did you play varsity as a freshman, like from the jump? Were you in varsity, or how did your varsity process go?
Yeah, at our high school, they didn't allow any freshmen to play varsity. But
what? No. That's crazy.
You just play freshman football. I enjoyed that, but I ended up playing varsity my sophomore year.
And so when did the college teams who were the teams that first started recruiting you, and when did the recruiting process kind of pick up for you?
Well, my first offer ever came from Wake Forest, and
Ooh.
my recruitment really started to pick up after my sophomore year, and especially towards the end of my junior year.
Absolutely, man. And so you choose, you go down to what was the deciding factor at that time? You know, you chose LSU. You get down to LSU. What was your experience like at LSU, man? What was that like for you?
I mean, well, the top three schools in deciding where I wanted to go was Florida, Bama, and LSU. And really, I chose LSU because they were just a school that really recruited me the hardest out of high school. So.
Absolutely, man. And so you were there at LSU for some years, man. Just and you hop in the transfer portal. What was the ultimately your decision? What went into that decision to hop into the portal and try to change schools?
I mean, I didn't really see the field like how I thought I should have been seeing the field. So I mean, it was about that time to go ahead and get a fresh start somewhere else.
And man, the transfer portal for every player is different. So what was your experience like? You know, as someone you said didn't really see the field how you wanted to, just what was your experience like in the recruiting process like as far as being in the transfer portal?
I mean, I was short on film coming from that college level, but I still received interest from schools like Marshall, Arkansas State, and UCF, just to name a few. So.
Mm-hmm. And so was it ever a time where you were like nervous getting into the portal, knowing that you didn't have as much college game tape as you might have wanted, or like what was kind of like your thought process there?
I mean, entering the portal, you just gotta believe in yourself and believe in your talent. So, just take a leap of faith. That's
Absolutely,
what I did.
man. Absolutely. And so obviously you're at Jackson State now. So when did JSU kind of get into the picture? When would who was the coach that kind of hit you up, or how did that kind of come about?
Coach Otis really hit me up. I mean, JSU's been on my mind. I mean, they've always been around my family. So.
And talk about that. I know you did an interview with Tiger Talk, and you talked to them about your family connections to Jackson State. If you can, for the folks who haven't seen that, if you haven't seen that, by the way, go check that out. But what is kind of like your family connection to Jackson State?
Man, I got so many cousins, uncles, and whatnot that attended JSU. So I'm just looking forward to it. My uncle actually played at Jackson State College. Back then it was called Jackson State College. So he played there. He was a receiver. So, yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And so, you get the call from Coach O. You go and talk to him about Jackson State, talk to Coach TC and everything. What made you finally decide, like, okay, this is the place where I want to be? This is, the family connection from cousins, uncles, everything. And what made you finally decide to go ahead and pull the trigger and play for Coach TC Taylor?
Back to what I said earlier, I couldn't see another place giving me a better college experience in JSU. So I just went ahead and made that move.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Once again, we're talking to Phillip Webb, Jackson State, just defensive specialist, right? He's gonna make plays on the quarterback. Hopefully, he's making a lot of sacks there in the vet, man. What are you looking forward to as far as like playing in front of your family in Mississippi and all the fans that show up to the vet each and every Saturday?
So I saw the videos and that crowd jumping and the band. So that's really what I'm looking forward to. It's just gonna be an awesome atmosphere to play in. Just feel that energy and love.
Absolutely, man. Now I want to ask you about your game, Phillip. Like, are you a trash talker or not, or Ken? Because you seem like very, for someone who's, I think, what's your size again? How big and tall are you? And how
255.
So you're 255 pounds, but you're very well mannered, man. You're very kind of demeanor, calm. But is there any time where what is it like on the field for you? Are you the same way, or
I'm a calm person off the field, but I just change when I get on that field.
So, okay, are you a trash talker or not? And if so, what kind of brings that out of you?
It depends. I mean, sometimes I'll talk trash back to the guy if he's talking trash to me, but I usually don't go out of my way just to start talking.
I feel you, man. What's the worst, whether it was high school, college, what was like your best game you ever had? Like, do you remember the stat line or what you were able to do in that game? Take me to one of those special moments.
Probably Gainesville in high school. That was one of our rivals. I think I may have had like 2.5 sacks that game and like a block punt, and we ended up winning like 6-3. So it was
wow.
It was a defensive game for sure.
Yeah, man, them 2.5 sacks and block punt. Hey, especially that block punt, that really changed the game, man. And so, was there ever a time on the field where you felt like, you know, either you were whooping somebody and you felt bad for him, and being a guy your size, because I wasn't athletically gifted like you, right? So, like, was there ever a time that you were just like kind of beating up on a guy on the field and it was like, man, I kind of feel bad for this kid, man. I'm kind of doing him a little dirty, or is it kind of like, nah, that's what I'm supposed to do?
Nah, I mean, I usually don't feel bad for them.
That's good to hear, man. Once again, we're talking to Phillip Webb, Jackson State. So while I'm doing this again, have they kind of told you what position you're going to play? Are you going to be an edge rusher? Are you going to be an inside linebacker? Have they kind of figured that out? Yeah.
Coach really sees me playing the edge / end role, but if needed, I feel like I can be really versatile on the defense.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So edge rusher, JSU, obviously they had James Houston's having a ton of success in the NFL playing that edge rusher position. And he came from the SEC as well. Just as far as, edge, what like for people that don't know the game all the way, what is kind of like the key to being a really good edge rusher, especially at the collegiate level?
Really, I'd say it starts with get off, just effort. If you're just going to keep working, outwork the man in front of you, that's where it starts. And then you can work off of that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And so Phillip, I'm just curious, man. Like you said, you're very calm demeanor, well spoken. Just what are some things you like to do outside of football? What are some of the hobbies that you get into outside when you're not sacking quarterbacks that you like to do in your spare time?
Probably just hang out, chill with friends and family. I like to go hunting and fishing whenever I get the opportunity to do that.
Hunting and fishing. What kind of hunting do you do? Are you rabbit hunting? What kind of hunting?
I went duck hunting a few times.
Duck hunting. Okay. What's that like, man? What's duck hunting like?
You gotta be locked in, but I mean, it wasn't too hard. It wasn't too hard.
So do you ever go deer hunting? Anything like that?
No, but I'm looking forward to doing that soon.
Yeah, I want to do that, man. I want to that's a pretty cool hobby. Fishing. Have you been fishing for a while? Do you fish a lot?
Yeah. I mean, no, I don't do it often, but those are just some outdoor stuff I enjoy doing.
I got you, man. I got you. Are you a video game player? Do you play the game at all?
I mean, I try to stay off of it, focus on what really matters. But whenever I got the free time, I'll play on the game.
Are you any good at the game? That's another, because I had Jalen Hughes come on the show. He said he the best. I said, well, you have any special talents? He said, man, I'm weirdly good at Madden.
I say I'm really good at Madden. I always joke with my friends. I tell them I'm an OC. I'm a real life OC in DC. Yeah, they get pretty mad. But.
Yeah, you got it. So that means you go out there. So are you Xbox or PS5 guy?
PS5.
Okay, so that means you got to play Jalen Hughes, cornerback on your team, man. He came on here and he's like, yo. You have?
No, I haven't, but I'll connect with him.
Yeah, you got to do that, man, because he said he's like strangely good. He made it seem like yo, nobody on the team's really messing with me, bro. Like the only people that beat him, he said, were like guys that are no longer there anymore. So he's like, yo, can't nobody beat me anymore. So hey, if you like that, go hit up Jalen, man. He's that's funny, man. But yeah, but back to ball, man. Just as far as this spring, you're a new player. There's a ton of new players coming to play for Coach TC Taylor and the JSU Tigers. Just what are you looking forward to as far as spring workouts, spring conditioning, all that stuff?
Well, I just look forward to improving my shape and just giving it my all every day. I'm not going to take this opportunity for granted.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I know the folks are ready to see you put on the pads this spring and make some plays out there, even if it's a little JSU on JSU action until we get to the fall, man. And so as far as the fall, just before, obviously, you guys have a long way till we get to the fall, but what do you think about, Jackson State's had a lot of success over the course of their history, but in particularly, they haven't lost a SWAC game in 2 years. Do you, as a new player on the team, do you feel any pressure to kind of keep that going? Or are you just like, nah, we're going to play football the way you play?
I mean, pressure is really, if you think about it. So I'm not really thinking about it in that aspect. It's just a mentality, how you approach it. So I'm just looking to live up to the standard that was set before. And, the fans are saying, let's get that 3-piece, so let's do it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Now, when I talk about pressure and stuff like that, like I'm a talking head, I'm a media guy. Do players think about that kind of stuff? Like, do y'all like, nah, we just go out there and play football? Like, how is that from a player perspective?
No, I haven't heard the word pressure from us, so no.
Absolutely, man. That's awesome, man. That's awesome, dog. Like, cause I mean, I'm just curious because, like you said, in the media, we make storylines. People say things that they want to say, whether it's true or not. Unfortunately, man, that's what happens, man. But as far as that, is there any game that you have circled this fall? Any player that you're looking forward to playing against, or team or atmosphere that you're looking to play in? If so, what?
I don't think we've gotten our full schedule for the 2023 season yet, but the one game I have highlighted right now is the first game, the opener in Atlanta. So versus South Carolina State.
Yes, sir. The SWAC MEAC Challenge. And the SWAC hasn't done too well in the SWAC MEAC Challenge. And the last time, now obviously you weren't there, but the last time JSU played South Carolina State was in the Celebration Bowl 2021. Kind of know how that went South Carolina State's way. And I know some players, some guys that I've talked to, they're like, yo, like we still feeling that. You know what I mean? Like we want to get back. And so, Phillip, for you, pregame, do you have any pregame rituals? Any particular artist that you listen to? Anything that you like to do before the game? And if so, what?
Nah, I mean, I don't really.
You're like, nah.
No pregame ritual stuff, no.
Okay, so is it any? Well, who are you listening to? Who's on the Apple Music, Spotify, title playlist that you like to listen to before the game?
Migos, J. Cole. I like Young Thug. Just most artists. I feel like music wise, I can really listen to anything.
I got you. And so, from the Georgia area, are you Thug? What's your favorite Young Thug? Is it, if you have an album or track, which one? And I'll critique your ears based off your answer. Which Young Thug is kind of like a go-to song if you have one?
I like this song called "We Ball" by Young Thug. So
"We Ball's hard." That's a good one.
That's
a good one. Yeah. Come on, man. I ain't an old dude. I mean, I'm only 27, dog. Like some folks be thinking I'm older than I am. I'm only 27, man. I listen to Thug too, man. So I understand.
You in the know.
Cole. Okay. What about J. Cole? What's J. Cole's your favorite album from J. Cole? Because that's actually my favorite artist.
Shoot, Forest Hill Drive.
Come on, man. It was only one answer, and that was it, dog. That was it.
January 28th. That's a good song.
Come on, man. That's it. No, that was the only right answer. You got it right, Phillip, man. So hey, you got some good music taste, dog. You got some good music taste. So Phillip, we'll wrap this thing up shortly. Once again, we're talking to Phillip Webb, outside linebacker, defensive end for Jackson State. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. Now, Phillip, as far as football, just how do you see kind of like in a perfect world? How would you see the rest of your college career at Jackson State kind of playing out? Just if you could just write your own script, how would it play out for you?
Well, I just want to just be able to go in and dominate, and then let God do the rest.
I like that answer, man. I like that answer. And so if you're able to, Lord willing, we pray that you be able to dominate and get all the success and go on to play a professional football as long as you want to, but eventually football ends. Just what are some of the things that you want to do once football is over? Is there anything in particular, any field that you want to work in, or kind of business that you want to start once football is finally over with?
Well, recently I've been thinking, I could be a good coach. I really just want to see our youth grow and develop better. So I could just see myself fitting into that role.
Absolutely, man. Hey, you could be a good coach, man. You say you're the OCDC on Madden, so you can put them skills to the test now. You can really help somebody become, the next Phillip Webb, a top prospect in the country and be able to play, collegiate football and eventually professional football. Phillip, hey, man, congratulations on everything. I wish you nothing but the best. For the folks at home that want to follow you and get to know you, where can they find you on all the socials, potential NILs or whatever? Shout it out now. Let them know.
Y'all can follow me on Instagram at Phillip.Webb, and then on Twitter _PhillipWebb_.
Absolutely, man. That's Phillip Webb, outside linebacker, defensive end for Jackson State. Phillip, hey, congratulations, man, on all the success. Hey, wishing you nothing but the best this fall. Once again, this is Phillip Webb right here on the Victory Formation Sports Show. My name is JeffLightsYJr. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up button before you head out, and we will